sure that's there. All right, so thank you everyone for joining us today. We have Dr. Stephanie Rollmann from the University of Cincinnati with us, coming to share internship opportunities with the University of Cincinnati in regards to sensory ecology. I hope I said that right. So thank you and welcome back to DSU. We appreciate you sharing your time and efforts with us to let our students know about the opportunities that you have there at the University of Cincinnati. And I'm just going to go ahead and give the floor to you, Dr. Ullman.
Oh, thanks. So thank you for organizing this and allowing me to come in and talk a bit about our summer program. So I have a series of slides. So just to introduce you to the summer program, introduce you to our graduate program, and then I just want to open it up to questions and also hopefully learn what the people on this call are interested in, the students in terms of careers and I'm happy to sort of think through, if not this summer program, other experiences which might get you where you want to go professionally. So, but first, let me just tell you about our summer program. This is a summer program. Hopefully, you can see my slides. That's funded by the government, funded by the National Science Foundation, and it's called a Research Experiences for Undergraduate site. It's an actual program at the National Science Foundation that funds different sites across the nation that focus on different aspects of biology in this case. And our specific theme is a theme in the field called sensory ecology. So you hopefully can see my next slide that shifted and saying, you may be familiar with the field of sensory ecology, or you may not, and want to learn new things. But essentially, I view myself as a sensory ecologist, and what people like me and scientists are interested in is they're interested in sensory ecology of trying to understand how animals acquire and respond to information in their environment. And they're interested in these kinds of questions like what's out there, if an animal's acquiring information, what is that information in terms of sensing? We're talking about things like light and sound and chemicals. If you are studying the sense of smell or taste, I study the sense of smell and insects, so chemical detection. How do animals, such as ourselves and other animals, detect these things, right? Eyes for light, ears for sound, noses and tongues for chemicals, etc. And then what do animals do with it? A lot of research is surrounding decision making in animals, animal behavior. Just because an animal detects something, do they decide in terms of motion to do quote unquote anything with it? And so our program in sensory ecology covers a variety of topics. And the reason I find this area personally fascinating is because it really intersects a lot of different fields. And if we're talking about animal motion, animal movement, a response to sensory stimuli, it's an intersection with the nervous system, neurobiology, animal behavior, questions related to ecology and evolution. And these bolded points are just a subset of topics that if you came to this program, might learn about, from genetics and development of sensory systems. What are the genes that underlie the formation of the eye, for example, or things more on the behavioral side of things. These are all sort of different aspects of sensory ecology, and researchers study things from fish to the middle one is me. I study fruit flies, these fruit flies that live in the deserts of Mexico and the southwestern US, to jumping spiders that have this amazing visual system, really intriguing, amazing visual system. And then this is just a more in-depth look at one of the researchers that does
Dr. Ullman,
research. Yes.
I'm sorry, we can't see as you're moving through your slides.
Oh, you're still on the first slide.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
So
what
when
do
you
you
move that way, when you click it, then we can see it.
you can see it here?
Yes.
Okay, so I just won't go through. I had it in presenter mode. I'll just go through this way. So you should see what is sensory ecology. That was when I was talking about. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. What's out there, right? How do animals detect things? What do animals do with it? And then here were the bulleted points of different areas that you might study within the field of sensory ecology, from the genetics of sensory systems to the neural basis of sensory systems, etc. And then I was about to dive into this specific example, just to give you a specific example from one of our researchers, Dieter van der Elst. He and is interested in bats. So hopefully now you see the bat and the video playing. And so he's interested in how they can move around essentially in total darkness using sonar, using echolocation. In this instance, right, is found this dragonfly on the surface of a leaf. And so he's unique in some sense among the mentors in that he brings in engineering as well. So he uses robotics to try and understand animals, while on the flip side, right, animals can inform better robotic design, right? Because these animals are exquisitely capable of moving around in total darkness. And how do they do that? And so he's interested in how they do that. He can, for instance, 3D print ears on from a bat's head, and then he can put those ears here on the next slide. You should see a big red robot, hopefully, if I'm moving forward. Um, he can put those ears on robots and test hypotheses that have been developed about how bats navigate. And one might argue if you have good hypotheses for how a bat navigates, perhaps you should be able to program this robot to navigate in darkness. So then that is sort of an overview of sensory ecology and some samples of the type of research that you would encounter in the summer program. This next slide, which should say what is the NSF REU and sensory ecology program, is me digging down into the nuts and bolts of the program. So with summer program, 10 weeks, May 30th to August 4th, you get a summer stipend of $6,000. We pay for your dorm housing. The dorms have rooms have kitchens, so that you don't have to go out to eat all the time. You can cook as well. There's a travel allowance to support flight in and out of the program, right? Arrival to and from the program. And we provide a meal allowance to cover some of your meals. So there's a meal card to cover some of the meals at the dining hall, and then you have the kitchen available to you. And what do you do all day long? You do research. You join a lab. There's no need to have any experience doing research. You learn in the lab how to do the techniques and about the research. And you do research in the labs, and you interact with students and faculty that are in the labs for the summer. You also, as the next slide is showing you, engage in, because you're part of a cohort of students coming in, you engage in professional development programming. So workshops on career development. What does a resume look like, for example, if you're applying to industry or academics or graduate school or government, what are different professions out there? How to prepare yourself if you're interested in going to grad school, research ethics, all sorts of topics related to professional development in science. We also have a unique aspect of the program that's a science communication training portion, where we collaborate with other departments in the university to talk about how you effectively communicate the science to the public, which is, I would argue, very essential that we communicate the information. Why should you care about this research area to the different audiences, the public, funding agencies, etc. So you work together as a group in making an short educational video. We also, you spend a good portion of your time, right, really doing research. That's the primary focus. But we also organize social events, informal networking, right? You build sort of hopefully lifelong friendships and professional networks during the summer. And the whole thing culminates in a research symposium that's open to the public, poster presentations of your final education videos. If you haven't been to Ohio, I actually grew up in New Jersey, and now I have a job in Ohio. I like it here. This is just a snapshot of the University of Cincinnati. I think it's a nice campus. It's sort of in an urban area. So here's just a picture of campus. Give you an idea of size. There are about 47,000 students at the University of Cincinnati. probably within, if you're 15-20 minute walking distance. If you want to go over to the medical campus, to the zoo, to the EPA, these are all places where there are other researchers studying biology. Our department itself has over probably closer to 1,400 undergraduates. And we also, as I'm going to mention in the last slide, have a master's and a PhD program. This summer program focuses on sensory ecology, but as I'll show you in the last slide, there are a variety of faculty doing a variety of different studies on different areas of biology. If you haven't been to Cincinnati before, I also think, right, yes, you're going to spend a lot of time doing research in the labs, but you'll also hopefully spend a lot of time exploring the city and having some fun, non-scientific fun. So if you're interested in good restaurants, there are good restaurants. Interested in hiking, there are places to hike. There are museums and things to do, sporting events, etc. in Cincinnati for the summer. And in terms of the next slide, applying to join us, the application review begins February 1st. The final sort of drop dead of application deadline is February 17th. I'll send these slides along, but this is our website here, uc-bio-ru. You'd find the application. In terms of eligibility, it's funded by the government, so there's certain rules. You have to be an undergraduate at the time you can't have graduated. You have to be a U.S. citizen, U.S. national, or permanent resident of the United States. And then I think the application process is fairly straightforward. Name, address, school, those kinds of things, copy of your transcript. It doesn't need to be an official copy, letters of recommendation. The thing that I always encourage people to do is to spend some time, though, thinking about the essay. And thinking about the essay in terms of why do you wish to participate? And not just in a summer program, but why this summer program? How is this summer program going? Because there are lots of summer programs out there, right? What about this program is going to position you to take the next steps in your professional career goals? And it could be that this interests you, but you're just not sure, right? That's a fair thing to say. But how will participating perhaps give you clarity in what you want to do? So 2 more slides, I believe. This one, which has my contact information. So by all means, I hope that you will contact me if you have questions, or the co-director, John Lane. But here's my stephanie.rollmann@uc.edu. I'll again share these slides. And then I just wanted to end by briefly mentioning our master's and PhD graduate programs. Hopefully you say, well, this sounds really cool, this summer program, and I'm going to apply this summer program, and I think that sensory ecology would be a really interesting thing to study. But perhaps you say, look, I'm interested in biology, but maybe not in sensory ecology. So I just want to point out that this top group are sort of a set of researchers that if you went to the website, you would see the mentors and you see more about the specific areas that they study in sensory ecology. And then in your application, you can rank. It'll ask you to rank who you'd like to work with. But if you're interested in general in graduate school and other aspects of biology, for graduate school, there are also individuals studying other aspects like plant ecology and evolution, or molecular biology, genetics, and physiology. I'm just not in the field necessarily of sensory ecology, so I just wanted to highlight that at the end. And for those of you not familiar with STEM, STEM graduate programs in general offer stipends for going to graduate school. And then the graduate student typically teaches or does a research assistantship, and tuition is typically waived. So I think it's a really nice opportunity in STEM to sort of go to school and get some stipend as part of that experience. Let me stop sharing, so hopefully I can see everybody again. Oop. Oh, there. And answer any questions you might have. Hopefully you can see me. Answer any questions you might have, and hopefully also just learn more about what you're thinking you might want to do.
So for those who are on the line with us, come off mute for me and maybe introduce yourself and, give us what you're looking to do in the future, why you signed on to this info session. And I mean, you have her in front of you, right? She's the one who's helping conduct this internship program. So that might just be your way in. So go ahead and come offline. And if you want, you can turn on your cameras as well.
Good morning. My name is Chisom Chukwemeka. I'm a chemistry major and I want to go to medical school, but I'm also interested in research because I feel like I might change my mind. Like I could do stuff that I want to do and then I could decide, where I want to go. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak to you and also a wonderful presentation from you. So thank you so much.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I actually wanted to be a veterinarian when I first went to undergraduate, and then I did undergraduate research and changed my mind, and became a scientist and studying the sense of smell and insects ultimately. So I totally get how you might start in one direction and get experience and decide to go in another direction. So I there are also, if you're not necessarily interested in sensory ecology, I hope that you are, but just I want to make sure you land in the right spot. There also are REU sites in chemistry. I'm not as familiar with them, but if you go to the National Science Foundation, if you Google it, REU sites, there's REU sites in chemistry. um, Not to dissuade you from applying to our program, but I'm just telling you. And they're also at the University of Cincinnati. They're more biomedically focused research programs because we're more ecology evolution focused. There's a program called SURF, that you also might be interested in looking into. Um, just to give you some additional ideas besides this one.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure. And just to put you at Rosalind Chapman, may I ask if that's okay? What you are interested in terms of careers?
I am, I work here at Dell State, so
Ah, okay. Then you could always change careers. I've thought about it over time.
I'm the one that encourages the students to join these programs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, this is awkward, but we can all change careers. We should remember this.
So, so I'm here to help the students and then guide them in the
Um,
directions or support them in the directions that they want to go.
well, it's nice to meet you.
Okay.
Okay, so Dr. Roman, Rebecca has put something in the chat,
Oh,
and if you want, I can read it.
oh,
Her
I
mic
didn't see the chat.
Yeah, her mic is not working, but she's currently a senior psychology major and didn't realize that she wouldn't be eligible for the program as she's graduating this upcoming spring. But thank you for sharing. She plans on continuing her education through graduate program for developmental psychology. Last summer, she was interning at University of California, Irvine, where she conducted research in neuroscience, specifically pertaining to the mouse model and looking at different concepts similar to the ones of sensory ecology. And she's from Ohio. Uh,
Wow, that's
so that's something else that sparked her interest. So thank you so much, Rebecca, for sharing that and signing on, and not just signing off once you heard that you still had to be in school. Congratulations on graduating, right?
yeah, yeah,
But thank you for sharing that.
yeah. I don't see. I only see Dr. Chapman, and I only see two people on the call, so that's why I'm. Is there anybody else on the call or?
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
Hello. Hey, my name is Tyler Peterson. I'm a senior here at DSU, and I'm always interested in learning about any research opportunities, especially in the summer. That's really when I have the time and space to do everything. I do actually qualify for this opportunity because I'm going to be graduating fall next year, but uh, I'm mainly just interested because I love biology; it's my favorite science. And sensory ecology is it's close enough that I can say that that's my favorite science as well because I always love learning about the senses and like just how everything interacts. each other. And just this last summer, I was working in the lab, um, also in neuroscience with a mouse model, and I had a lot of fun. Uh, I think as far as my career goes, I want to practice in research, but I'm not sure if I just want to be uh, just a researcher, or if I want to do something like more field work, or just coming up with like different models for different experiments. So I'm still deciding on what to do, but so far research definitely seems like my path.
Well,
Uh,
that sounds awesome.
and also on top of all that, I know I plan on going to graduate school, and then continuing on from there.
That sounds awesome. Well, this program sounds right in line with your interests. You go, so I hope you apply. If you go to the website, there's a at the top there'll be a faculty mentors, and you can look at the different research projects, and then you can rank what you might be interested in, one more than the other. And there are different, like you were talking about, different models. There are a wide variety of models, right? I study sense of smell and fruit flies. There are others study vision in spiders. There are others that study changes in sensory systems in fish, right? There are all sorts of different models and in areas. And then some people are more neuroscience, others more genetics of that build nervous systems. And shoot me an email if you have any questions too. That's
Uh,
nice to meet
thank
you. That's cool.
and thank you for this opportunity to listen as well. Thank you.
No, no, that's nice of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. I think we have, is Robin on the line? Am I saying it right? Okay, maybe not. Maybe they're just in a capacity where they can hear. Um, but I think
Hello?
Dr. Rollmann. Oh, there you go. We can hear you. Hi.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we try again.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Hi, my name is Robin. I'm a sophomore studying biochemistry. I heard about this through the email and I was really excited because I do undergraduate research now and I just feel like the more and more I do it, the more stuff I learn.
Robin, I'm sorry. We really can't hear you. I don't know if maybe you can put the mic closer to
Hello?
you or.
I heard that you're doing undergraduate research now,
Yes.
in biochemistry.
Yes. Can you hear me now a little bit more?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I was saying that I know just like the more and more you do, the more and more you learn. And being in Dover, Delaware, sometimes it's hard for to find different opportunities, especially in the summer. So I would love to do this one. I would love to venture outside of Dover and kind of go to a different school.
No, I can totally appreciate that because you get. Oh, sorry.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, sorry. I could totally appreciate that because you get different perspectives going to different places, and you get different groups of people doing different types of research. So I think it's actually really valuable to go and interact with as many people as possible. So I think same encouragement as I was sending Tyler's way in terms of looking at the mentors, looking at the research. Also, I'd add spending time on the essay, talking about how this would right position you to for your next steps in your careers, or perhaps what what interests you about certain people's research programs. Those kinds of things, I think, go a long way in the essays.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing, Robin. I'm not sure, maybe it's an issue there, but you do have, you all of you guys have Dr. Rollmann's emails. You now have the website. I've sent the flyer, but Dr. Rollmann, if you send me your PowerPoint slides, I will send it to them. so they have access to it and they can see it a little bit more. And be able to contact you if they have any questions or concerns. But I do strongly, I think there's at least three of you on here who are strong candidates for this opportunity. All right, so take advantage of it. I really, really strongly suggest you applying and not waiting until February to apply. I believe that the link is open now and you can start applying now. So start asking for your recommendations. Go on your banner and get your transcript. Send it in. And then that way you can hear sooner than later for the opportunities. But again, you have Dr. Rollmann here to answer any questions for you. And you've all spoken up, so I'm so proud of you for speaking up and sharing, your desires. Even you, Rebecca, who don't qualify, but just understand that you are graduating, and so that's an amazing thing in itself, and we're proud of you for that. So, Dr. Rollmann, I don't know if you have anything else to say to our students.
Just that I hope that you'll apply and feel open to shooting me an email if you have questions. Also, if you're accepted to the program, you've ranked the people that you want to work with. There's no reason not to reach out to them after, if you get accepted to the program, and ask more specifics about what am I really going to do in the summer, right? What are the research projects? So that you make an informed decision, because it's a two-way street, right? In terms of making that final decision. So.
Okay, we thank you so much, Dr. Rollmann, and I'm going to pass this over to Ms. Shonda Poe, our director of Urella, for last words. But thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Craig. Thank you so much, Dr. Rollmann. We always appreciate you, always including Delaware State University Hornets. We really do thank you from the bottom of our hearts for giving our students opportunity. And that's the key, is that this doesn't happen all the time. And so we try to encourage our students to please know that there's more research out there outside of Delaware State University, and we appreciate you taking the chance to allow our students to be able to work in your state-of-the-art research art labs. And so thank you again. We appreciate your time, and please know that you're now a DSU Hornet, so you're stuck with us.
I feel the same way. You're stuck with me. Well, thank you. Right.
All
I mean,
right.
you all, thank you for joining, for organizing this. I really appreciate it. So, and have a wonderful holiday.
Yes, you
Yes.
as well. You
Yes.
and your family. Yes, indeed.
Everybody be safe. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, Ms. Chapman.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.